I discovered an interview where the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerbe, had with Brian Custer. And the reason why I wanted to shed light on this interview is because I posted a video on my channel just several days ago where we ended on the words of Bernard Hopkins, who said that Tank Davis basically had to, quote unquote, break free from the slave chains of PBC and Mayweather Promotions and even Al Heyman in order to secure the fight with Golden Boy Promotions' own Ryan Garcia. And the reason why I left you all on those words of Bernard Hopkins is because we see that there is a contradiction between Bernard and Oscar with regards to making the fight happen between Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. And the contradiction is that in order for the fight to take place between those two fighters, is on one hand, Bernard Hopkins is saying that Tank Davis had to get away from Al Heyman, get away from Floyd Mayweather, get away from PBC and or Mayweather Promotions. But on the other hand, the fight is already done. But here we have Leonard Ellerbe himself, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Let's hear what Leonard Ellerbe had to say regarding the business of boxing. And on top of that, how the fight between Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia could have materialized even when Tank Davis was with PBC under the banner of Mayweather Promotions with the assistance of the CEO, Leonard Ellerbe, and how he reached out to Golden Boy Promotions to secure the fight, not once, but twice, contradicting basically what Bernard Hopkins is basically saying.
Says, why do you think Haney, Loma, Taylor, those type of caliber fighters don't bring nothing to the table against Tank, but you match them with Cruz, Barrios, and Romero?
Well, I've never said that they don't bring anything to the table. I might have said that about Josh Taylor, but you know what the fans have to do is just be patient. Mm-hmm. These fights with these guys, who they think they're big, they will eventually happen when they are big fights. Mm-hmm. Because right now, Tank is the biggest name out of all these guys combined, and so boxing is a business. And I've kind of used this example, and I don't want to use Haney again, but you kind of got to say that. It's like, at the end of the day, this fighter makes X, you know, and he's been paid very well because him and his dad are smart. Yeah. So, but when they want to fight Gervonta Davis, they're going to want a lot more money, okay? So, if you make a fight like that, like right this second, okay, how big is that fight? Okay, what are you going to do? Sell out the Barclays Center? Well, Tank is doing that right now by himself, okay? So in order to make these kind of fights, there has to be a pot of money there so the fighters can get paid. I'm not going to go to Tank and say, just because the fans are impatient at the moment, and say, we're going to make this X fight right here, and you got to take a pay cut. He's going to look at me and say, I'm not doing that. I make X right now, which is almost 3 times what all these guys are making by himself right now. Okay, and again, you know, there's a method to all this. Boxing is a business. I'm gonna say it again. Boxing is a business. You know, for an example, like one of the guys, you know, just only generated $500,000 for the whole event. The other guy just generated $1 million. So you see what I'm saying? It's like, what are you going to just lose a bunch of money? So that makes sense. You know, you have one of the guys who has generated more revenue in Ryan Garcia, for an example. I tried to make that fight twice, okay? And I've got rejected, okay? So go ask Golden Boy why they won't put him in with Gervonta Davis. Go ask him that question. That's an example. You know, tried to make Tevin Farmer at that time when it was hot. There's a timing for everything. They might be waiting on whatever to try to build him up, but they're not going to put him in with Tank Davis because they know what's going to happen.
That's a good point.